Not all powerful people need to be loud, flashy, or constantly in the spotlight. Some move in silence. They don't chase approval, they don't climb social ladders, and they don't need to be seen to be effective. These are the Sigma males. A Sigma male holds power differently than most people expect. He's not trying to dominate like an alpha or blend in like a beta. He simply operates on his own terms. While others are trying to lead groups or win popularity contests, the Sigma male is building power that doesn't rely on anyone noticing. He doesn't need to stand at the front of the room. He doesn't crave applause. But people still follow him, respect him, and are drawn to his presence. Why? Because the Sigma male has mastered a different way of living, one where he builds influence quietly, works with intention, and lives with full independence. In this video, we're diving into how Sigma males manage to hold real, lasting power without ever needing the spotlight. We'll break down the 6 major signs that set them apart and give them an edge in a noisy world. These are not tips or tricks. These are deep qualities that take time to build, but once you do, they become part of who you are. We're not talking about fake confidence, big speeches, or chasing clout. This is about steady control, emotional strength, and discipline that speaks louder than words. Whether you're someone who already relates to the Sigma mindset or you're just starting to understand it, these signs will show you exactly why this type of man doesn't need attention to lead, grow, or win. Let's get into the first reason Sigma males hold power behind the scenes. Way number 1: independence and self-reliance. One of the strongest ways Sigma males hold power is through complete independence. They don't rely on other people to give them direction, support, or identity. They create their own path and stick to it, no matter how unpopular it might be. This kind of self-reliance gives them real power. While many people wait for permission or look for outside validation, Sigma males move forward on their own. They don't need a group to agree with them. They don't wait for approval. They trust their own judgment and follow their own values. That's rare in a world that's obsessed with fitting in. Sigma males often build their own systems. That could mean starting their own businesses, working solo, or living a lifestyle that doesn't match the usual model. They figure out what works for them, and they don't let social pressure change their plans. This doesn't mean they don't listen to others. It means they filter advice and only take what makes sense to their mission. Being independent also gives them freedom. They're not stuck in toxic environments just to survive. They're not tied to the opinions of a boss, a group, or a partner. They can walk away from anything that doesn't serve them because they've built the tools to survive and thrive on their own. Self-reliance shows up in how they handle challenges too. When life gets tough, they don't collapse or wait for rescue. They stay calm, study the situation, and come up with a plan. Their quiet confidence comes from knowing they've handled problems before and can do it again. This independence is attractive, even if they're not trying to be. People can sense that they're solid, that they don't need attention to be sure of themselves. That kind of energy can shift a room without a single word being spoken. But this isn't something they were born with. Most Sigma males build it through trial and error. They go through failures, learn hard lessons, and grow strong by pushing through. They build their own skills, their own mindset, and their own structure. And once it's in place, no one can take it from them. It's not just about being alone. It's about being strong enough to be alone without falling apart. A Sigma male might have friends, relationships, and even lead a team, but the difference is that he doesn't need those things to feel complete. He brings full value to any situation without having to ask for permission or rely on outside power. That's why independence is one of the strongest ways Sigma males hold silent power. It's the root that supports everything else they do. With that solid foundation, they can move how they want, grow how they want, and lead without ever needing a spotlight. Way number 2: strategic thinking and analytical prowess. Another quiet source of power for Sigma males is their sharp mind. They're not impulsive or careless. They think before they act. And when they act, it's with clear purpose. Strategic thinking means always seeing a few steps ahead. Sigma males are planners. They don't get distracted by short-term rewards or temporary drama. They keep their focus on long-term goals. While others are busy reacting, the Sigma male is already setting up his next move. This comes from a strong sense of awareness. Sigma males observe a lot more than they speak. They take in details, notice patterns, and pick up on what's really happening, not just what's on the surface. That helps them avoid mistakes and make better choices. They also ask hard questions. They're not afraid to think deeply about what's going on. They want to know why things work the way they do, and they don't accept easy answers. That mindset helps them uncover problems before they get big and find smart ways to solve them. Because they don't talk a lot, their moves often catch people by surprise. A Sigma male might be quiet in a meeting or sit back in a group, but he's listening to every word, watching reactions, and spotting what others miss. Then, when the time is right, he acts with precision. That's real power, moving when it matters, not just to be seen. They also keep emotion in check. It's not that they don't feel, it's that they don't let feelings run the show. They use logic to guide decisions. They know that emotional outbursts usually lead to regret, so they stay cool, gather facts, and plan their response. Sigma males are also great at seeing through lies. Because they watch so closely and think so deeply, they can spot fakeness fast. That protects them from manipulation and keeps them in control of their own life. It also earns quiet respect from others who know they can't be fooled easily. This kind of thinking takes practice. It comes from reading, listening, and learning non-stop. It also comes from choosing to pause before reacting. That pause creates space for better decisions and fewer regrets. People often confuse quietness with weakness, but in the Sigma male it's the opposite. His silence means he's watching. His delay means he's calculating. And when he finally speaks or acts, it hits harder because it's based on solid thought, not noise. That's why strategic thinking is one of the most powerful tools a Sigma male has. It lets him move in the shadows, avoid traps, and lead with results, not words. Way number 3. Disregard for hierarchies and authentic living. One of the most powerful ways Sigma males hold influence is by not caring about social hierarchies. While many people are busy trying to climb the ladder or win over higher status individuals, the Sigma male doesn't play that game. He sees it for what it is, often fake, often political, and almost always limiting. This disregard doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from self-respect. Sigma males understand that true value doesn't come from titles or ranks. It comes from character, action, and results. That mindset gives them freedom. They're not trapped trying to please a boss, fit into a group, or earn status points. They stay grounded in their own mission. In every group there's a structure. Some people are leaders, some are followers. Most people try to rise within that structure by impressing others or playing along. But Sigma males usually step outside the whole system. They don't feel the need to prove themselves in that way. That makes them unpredictable and sometimes even intimidating to people who rely on status games to feel secure. This freedom allows them to live more authentically. Because they're not trying to impress anyone, they can be honest about who they are, what they value, and what they won't tolerate. That kind of realness stands out. In a world full of people trying to fit in, someone who's fully themselves becomes a strong presence. Authenticity is a form of silent power. When a man lives by his own code and sticks to it without apology, people notice. They may not always agree with him, but they respect the fact that he's not fake. That kind of respect can't be bought. It's earned through consistency and truth. This way of living also gives Sigma males a clear direction. Because they're not chasing approval, they don't get pulled off course. They decide what matters to them, and they move toward it, no matter who's watching. That kind of focus is powerful. It creates momentum, and it allows them to achieve real goals, not just social victories. It's also why they don't mind being alone. When you stop caring about fitting into a structure, you lose interest in being part of every group or scene. Sigma males enjoy their own company because they're not looking to be validated by a crowd. That self-trust gives them space to think deeply, work hard, and stay consistent. So while others are busy trying to climb to the top of a pyramid, Sigma males are building their own world next to it. They may not stand in the spotlight, but the strength of their presence and the honesty of their actions creates lasting impact. Way number 4. Integrity and action-centered leadership. Sigma males don't shout about leadership. They don't demand to be followed, but somehow people end up following them anyway. Why? Because their actions speak louder than any speech could. This is one of the strongest ways they hold power, through integrity and action-first leadership. Integrity means doing what's right even when nobody's watching. It's about keeping promises, staying honest, and staying true to your values even under pressure. Sigma males live by this principle. They don't bend their code to fit in or gain favor. That makes them dependable, and in today's world, dependability is rare and valuable. People want to trust someone. And they trust the Sigma male because his words match his actions. He doesn't say one thing and do another. He leads by doing the hard work, by showing up, and by facing challenges directly. Others take notice, even if the Sigma male isn't trying to show off. This style of leadership is quiet but firm. It's not about taking control of the room. It's about handling business and letting the results speak. Whether it's at work, in a relationship, or in a personal mission, the Sigma male sets a standard through consistent, honest effort. His confidence isn't built on popularity. It's built on experience. He knows what he can do because he's done it before, alone, without help, without a crowd. That kind of confidence is steady and unshakable. This also means he leads in a way that empowers others. Instead of telling people what to do, he shows them. He inspires through action. People respect that. They start to mirror his discipline, his work ethic, his calm. And that's how quiet power spreads, through influence, not control. The Sigma male also holds strong boundaries. He knows where he stands, what he will allow, and what crosses the line. And because he sticks to those boundaries, people are less likely to test him. They understand that his respect must be earned, not demanded. This isn't cold or distant, it's simply direct. The Sigma male doesn't play games. He's not interested in being everyone's friend. He's focused on being clear, fair, and solid. That earns him real influence over time. So while others are busy posting achievements or talking about their plans, the Sigma male is out there doing the work. That's where his power comes from. Quietly, steadily, without needing a round of applause. He shows what leadership looks like, then moves on to the next step. Way number 5, deep observation and silent communication. Another way Sigma males hold power without needing the spotlight is through their deep observational skills. They're not the loudest in the room, but they're often the most aware. While others are busy talking, the Sigma male is watching closely. He notices details others miss. He reads body language, tone shifts, hesitation in words. He sees who's real and who's putting on a show. That level of awareness helps him avoid drama, make smarter decisions, and understand people without asking too many questions. Because of this, the Sigma male rarely gets caught off guard. He senses changes in mood, reads the tension in a room, and adjusts without having to say much. This makes him seem mysterious, but really, he's just tuned in to what's happening around him. This kind of power doesn't need volume. It comes from understanding. The Sigma male doesn't waste energy trying to be heard. He uses his energy to study, reflect, and plan. When he finally does speak, people tend to listen, because they know he only talks when he has something important to say. His ability to communicate without words is another tool. A look, a nod, a pause. These small actions carry meaning. People pick up on it, even if they don't realize it. The Sigma male's presence carries weight because it's focused and controlled. He's also an excellent listener. In conversations, he pays full attention. He's not waiting to speak or trying to win the moment. He's actually hearing what the other person is saying. That makes people feel seen and understood, which builds trust and quiet influence. This type of communication is powerful in relationships, leadership, and negotiation. It helps the Sigma male connect deeply with others without having to dominate the space. He doesn't overpower a room, he balances it. And because he observes first, he rarely overreacts. He lets people reveal who they really are over time. Then he decides whether to get involved or walk away. That patience gives him control. He's not pulled by drama, not rushed by pressure. So while others may grab attention with noise, the Sigma male holds power through attention. By watching, listening, and moving only when needed, he builds respect and control in a way that doesn't need to be seen to be strong. Way number 6, minimalism and focus on what matters. A powerful trait of Sigma males is their ability to block out distractions. In a world full of noise, trends, and constant pressure to chase more, they keep things simple. They focus only on what matters, and that's another way they hold real quiet power. Minimalism isn't just about owning fewer things. For a Sigma male, it's a way of thinking. He doesn't need to follow every trend, buy every new gadget, or show off his success through material things. He strips life down to what has meaning and puts his energy only where it counts. This focus gives him clarity. He's not pulled in every direction because he's already chosen his direction. His goals are clear, his time is guarded, and his priorities are strong. That's rare in a world where most people are overwhelmed, overcommitted, and scattered. Because he isn't chasing status symbols, he's free to move differently. He can make bold decisions, take smart risks, and build a life that's based on purpose, not appearance. That's why people often feel a quiet strength around him. He's not rushing, not reacting. He's centered. Minimalism also protects his mental space. A Sigma male avoids drama, useless conflict, and fake relationships. He values peace and control over constant stimulation. That peace becomes power. It helps him think clearly, recover quickly, and act with intention. His surroundings reflect this mindset. He keeps his environment clean, functional, and simple. Not for style, but because it allows him to focus better. He doesn't waste time on clutter, physical or emotional. That gives him more room to grow, learn, and act. This trait shows up in his schedule too. He doesn't fill his days just to feel busy. He picks the few things that matter and goes all in. That could be a business, a skill, a personal goal. Whatever it is, he commits fully. And because he isn't stretched thin, he produces results. People often ask how he gets so much done without seeming stressed. The answer is focus. He's not trying to do everything. He's doing what matters and ignoring what doesn't. That creates steady progress without the burnout. So while others are loud about their hustle, the Sigma male builds quietly, with depth, not noise. That deep focus, powered by a minimalist mindset, lets him grow stronger and stay in control without needing to prove it to anyone. Power doesn't always look the way people expect. It doesn't always stand in the spotlight. It doesn't always talk the loudest or move the fastest. Sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one watching, thinking, and building quietly. That's what defines a Sigma male. Throughout this video, we've looked at 6 powerful ways Sigma males hold their ground without seeking attention. They move on their own terms, stay true to their path, and lead without ever needing to be the center of anything. They rely on independence and self-reliance, building lives that don't depend on anyone's approval. They think several steps ahead, using strategy instead of emotion. They reject fake hierarchies and live by their own code, which draws respect even when no one says it out loud. They lead through action, not words, and hold strong to their values. They observe deeply, speak only when necessary, and listen more than they talk. And finally, they focus only on what matters, clearing out the noise to keep their path clear. None of this happens by accident. These qualities are built over time through trial, failure, and quiet discipline. They're not for show. They're not part of some trick to win approval. They're simply part of how the Sigma male sees and navigates the world. And that's what makes his power last. It isn't borrowed, and it isn't performed. It's built from the inside out. So, if you're watching this and you see part of yourself in this mindset, or you want to grow into it, the message is simple. You don't need the spotlight to hold power. You need discipline. You need clarity. And you need the courage to walk alone if that's what it takes. Stay focused. Stay grounded. And let your actions speak for you.